Welcome back to the channel. My name is Hall and I do product and travel review videos. So today I'm still in Banff. So as you can see, my sweet hat. So I'm still at the Rimrock. I'm still in Banff. It's actually the day before I fly home tomorrow. So I'm in the resort, or I'm still in my room. So I have some time. I'm gonna actually do the review now. And usually I wait till I get home, but I've gathered enough notes and I've walked around the resort enough. I think I can do a pretty decent review. So we're gonna jump into the Rimrock Resort. We're also gonna talk about some things I did in the Banff area, just to give you a little insight of what it's like to visit here. So let's get into it right after the bumper. Okay, I want to talk about the layout of my reviews as well. So I did get a person that watched one of my reviews and they commented like, I just don't want to see a talking head talk about the resort. So this is one video clip. I will place all the B-roll on top of my face as we're going through this review. So it's not just going to be me sitting here in the hotel room. So I spent the last 3 days kind of combing the resort and their surrounding area, taking lots of footage. So I'll talk through all of my talking points. That's how all of my reviews go. I like to give deep detail and things I think that are important that you should know, things that irritate me or I like, don't like, whatever that looks like. So realize this, you won't just be seeing this. I will be putting clips over my face so that you can see the things I'm actually talking about when I'm talking about them. So that's the way I usually do my reviews. It's been received mostly well, but if you're only getting the first 30 seconds or a minute of the video, you're gonna be like, I don't want to just stare at him. And I get it, you won't stare at me. I'm gonna throw in lots of things. So let's jump into those. So before we talk about Rimrock Resort specifically, let's talk about the surrounding area. So I've been here from a Tuesday and I fly out a Saturday, so only a couple of days. And these are some of the things that I did in the area that you may be interested in doing as well. So downtown Banff, it's really cool. It's really gorgeous. It's very chateau-y. There's lots of lodges and it feels like a ski town. Since COVID, they've shut down the main street that runs right down the middle of Banff and then one of the side streets as well. So there's actually no traffic through there, and they've just put seating like on the streets and you can walk and go as you please. The public bus service is the only thing that goes down the main street. Other than that, you're walking and going, and I don't know if they're going to change it, but they've changed it since COVID and they haven't gone back to it being with cars, but it's pretty awesome. It makes the experience way better. It's very quiet in town because there's just not a lot of traffic running through. It's pretty great. So lots of shopping, obviously. They have Patagonia, North Face, Helly Hansen stores specifically, which if you're a skier into mountain stuff, those are pretty big names. They do have local shops as well. That's, kind of touristy. They have a lot of the local t-shirts, sweatshirts, things like that, hats. And the thing about those, if you go in one, they're all kind of very similar. So you don't have to go to multiple ones. If you get more of a shirt that's from Banff or an area, or a hat, like they had this hat at like 4 different stores. So once you go to one, they're mostly the same. Just wanted to give you a heads up. The food. So I've had a couple food options here since I've been here. I'm here on a work conference, so we get a lot of food provided, but we also have been downtown a couple times. So I went to an Irish pub. And they had the perfect Guinness pour. So there's a couple Irish pubs in town. And this one I think is the Old Irish Pub, and it was, I had 2 Guinnesses there. I just wanted to go just to have a Guinness there because I don't get to a lot of Irish pubs. But it was amazing and it was a perfect pour. And I actually mentioned that to the bartender, like, we take pride in our pour, so it was really cool. I did eat at the Park Distillery for lunch as our group. It was pretty good. It was okay. I'd maybe give it like a 6 out of 10. It wasn't anything exciting, especially for me, but the atmosphere was cool. They make their own actual, I think it was vodka there as well. So that was pretty neat. It's called Park Vodka. And then last night we had dinner at the Bison. That was very good. We were up like on the upper level with our entire group, and you had a little mini menu. You had to choose an appetizer, entree, and dessert. That was also very good. The food was excellent. Yeah, the atmosphere was good. They had a nice bar. It's very like Cedar-esque lodging, or like a log cabin type setup. So that was really cool. Activities I've done here. So I did the sunrise at Lake Louise the first full day I was here. I got up early that morning. I did an entire YouTube video on how to catch the sunrise at Lake Louise. So make sure you check that out if you're interested in Lake Louise and what it's like, how to catch the sunrise. I only stayed for the sunrise. I didn't hike around because I didn't have enough warm clothes to travel with here. So I was freezing after 2 hours of standing outside waiting for it, but realized that I can tell you kind of how to beat the crowd with parking, where to stand, and then I have the footage of the actual sunrise coming up at Lake Louise, which is cool. So check that out. And then we did an open top bus tour and we hit a lot of the local Banff attractions. That was kind of cool. It was cold because the temperature normally during the day when I got here was 75. And then yesterday it dropped to like 56 and today it's like 48. So it dropped off pretty quickly and we caught that drop off in the open top and it was a little chilly. So just a heads up there. And then we did a boat ride at Lake Minnewanka. So it was really cool. They had for our party specifically, they had like cheeses and stuff on there and refreshments, but we had a guide, told us about the lake, how it was named, what kind of indigenous people lived around there, the animals around there, the fire, really kind of crazy things, how the dam was built. So all these different historical facts that actually were pretty interesting, and the guys were really nice, and it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. So if you are up here, I would certainly suggest hit up Lake Louise and also hit up Lake Minnewanka. Okay, so let's get into the Rimrock. If you've seen pictures online, it is just as beautiful here. So huge thing here is everything around you. It's incredible, which you'll see a lot of that. So the time period, I'm here in early September. So realize, like I said, during the day, it could be 75 or it could be 58. At night, it gets pretty chilly. When I went to Lake Louise, I think I left at 4 a.m. and it was 38 or something like that. So, the packing is tough, especially if you're only carrying a carry-on like I did. I had to pack like 2 different seasons, inside a small carry-on, which makes it difficult. I'm here for a work conference, so I have a little bit of perspective of both the work perspective and then also staying here as a guest and what that would be like. So they have an on-site concierge service. It was none of the concierges were named Marie. If anybody's an Office fan, when Michael goes to Canada and the concierge Marie. Anyway, so they can help with reservations, golfing, skiing, dinner, and those types of things. It's just typical concierge. Parking. So when you pull in to the front, there's like an overhang. You can, if I did self-parking, I didn't want valet. So just to give you $22 a day self-parking plus 5% GST, 36 daily for valet plus 5% GST. Oversized daily is 60 plus 5%. And then you also must let them know in advance if you're bringing an oversized. So if you're like a truck and trailer or a camper, RV, whatever that looks like. And then non-registered guests is $2 an hour plus 5%. So with the parking, I pulled into the thing. A person came out immediately and said, what do you want to do? Do you want to do valet or self? I said self. He said, you can even leave. You could leave your car here. You would have to give us the keys. You can take all your luggage, check in, go to the room, and then just come back out. We'll give you the keys back and you can go park, or you can go park in the parking garage and then just carry your stuff in. So I only had a backpack and a small carry-on, so I just went right to the parking garage. Level 7 is where you get into the lobby from the parking garage, but they have like a little area where you can use elevators and go up and down. So if you get on level 7, awesome. If you don't, it's not a huge ordeal. You can just use the elevators. But that's parking. So room. So check-in was really easy for me. It was quick, but I also didn't get here till probably about 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. So it was reasonably quiet. There was obviously people eating or at the bar or whatever, but it wasn't a big deal for me. Now, yesterday when we were heading down for dinner at 6, a bus of people just pulled in and the line to check in was probably like 50 people deep. And they only had 2 people working the check-in desk. So I'm sure they were standing there for a while. They were actually taking up like the entire lobby. There was a ton of people and we were trying to leave to go to dinner and we're, 50 something people as well. So it was pretty congested. So realize if you do catch it when a bus happens, you could be waiting a while to check in. I didn't run into that. And it's hard to tell. It just, I think normal check-in's 3 p.m. here. There are a lot of buses. Oh, the hotel information. So they'll give you a key. It's a normal key. There's nothing fancy about it. It's like a normal hotel. They do give you 2 like business cards, and they have QR codes that'll give you hotel information on them. One of them you can scan. They'll give you like your room service menu and other menus from other restaurants and things like that. Pool hours and whatever. Let's see. The main lobby is on floor 7. So when you actually pull in to go to check in, you're actually on floor 7. My room is on floor 4. So almost every other hotel I've ever been at, right? You always click up to go to your room. Well, I did that for like the first 2 days. I think I was hitting up every single time and realized that I had to go to 4. So realize main lobby, some of the restaurants, most of the restaurants are on lobby 7 or on level 7. It's where you walk in and then the hotel goes down kind of along the mountain. So it actually sits like kind of on the side of the mountain. And I was on 4. So I think there's only 9. So there's only 2 above the lobby and then obviously the 6 below. Type of room, I'm in a standard 2 queen. I don't have a balcony. There's not all the rooms have balconies, so just heads up there. And obviously you can see the room walkthrough. Let's talk about room amenities. So beds are good. I had no issues sleeping in the beds. So far, they're pretty comfortable. 4 pillows per bed, yay! And the pillows are nice, and they are decently, they're decent at holding their form, but they give you 4 per bed. Plus, there's an extra one in the closet, so plenty of pillows if you're a pillow person like my wife is. So she's not with me, but she would have loved them. So yeah, no pillow situation that made me frustrated, and the beds are pretty good. Bathrobes, I didn't use them, but I felt them. And the reason I felt them is because there's a card here with like snacks pricing, and the bathrobes you can buy for 155 Canadian. And yeah, they are hella soft. So if you're into bathrobes, they feel pretty soft. So you should be good. There's a small fridge and a safe, kind of inside like where the TV sits, kind of like the drawers, a cabinet. You can kind of see it behind me. Nice chairs by the windows where I'm sitting now, and there's a table here. And then obviously the windows behind me with the view. The view is pretty amazing. There's obviously a mountain range right outside the window. If you're facing the road side, you're going to be looking at like the hillside, but you also get to see up the mountain where there's a gondola kind of down the road as well. But I would say if the mountain side, not the road side, is definitely the better view. Thermostat works great. So like I've been fluctuating between 68 and 70 degrees in my room. When I'm sleeping, it's 68. It turns on very quickly. It's very responsive. You can feel the difference. And when I set it back to 70, it stays at 70. It stays the temperature I'm looking for. So it actually works really well. I'm very impressed with that. Plenty of towels as well. And then they have supplied shower, bathroom items like soap and shower gel and shampoo and stuff like that. Nothing too crazy. I've seen some crazier stuff, but it's good. It's decent enough. Irritations for me inside the room. So one, there's no provided water or snacks that you don't have to pay for. That's super irritating because this place is not cheap. And I mean, we get a discount for the group rate since we're here, but like 450 a bottle of Evian water, that's ridiculous to me. To stay at a place like this and not provide any water in the fridges. So what I did is I just went down, and what really was annoying is obviously I traveled all day to get here. I didn't get here till late. I then had to eat dinner here, which I got room service. And, I just said like, can you bring me up like glasses of water? So they brought me up glasses of ice water and covered them in like cellophane. Um, and then the next morning when I went to Lake Louise, I bought like 4 huge bottles at the local gas station and brought them. So what I would say is if you want snacks and you want water, you're gonna have to bring them yourself, because if you're gonna, I mean, they're just really expensive here, and that's kind of dumb to me. So water, I think, should be the minimum you should provide in the room, but they don't here. I mean, they do, but you just have to pay for it. And I think that's stupid. So spa and fitness. So there's a Rimrock Resort that's right on site here. It's open Wednesday to Monday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. They have massages, enhancements, facials, hot and foot care, all the standard spa stuff. I didn't get any B-roll of that just because I didn't want to obviously disturb anyone with doing that. They do have a pool and hot tub. It's open 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily, and then 10 to 11 is adults only, so kids can't be in during that time frame. So you can go, if you're an adult staying here, you can go in that hour block at night and not be disturbed. There's no lifeguard on duty, so it's up to you to watch your children or yourself. There's a fitness area. It is right next to the pool. It's pretty decent size. They have ellipticals and free weights and machines and everything, and it's open 24 hours, so you can go to that whenever you need. Dining. So I didn't do any dining at any of the restaurants specifically, because when we're in the building, we're in conference meetings and they provide food. So the conference food has been very good. It's been really decent quality, and the service that's with it, they're quick to get your plates. There's plenty of food. It's hot. The setup's nice. Lots of drinks and things like that. So during the conference and the conference food, so I've had breakfast, lunch. I've had breakfast and dinner in that arena, and the food's been excellent. So I'm assuming that the restaurants is going to be good as well. So when we go to dinners, we're usually going downtown. So I don't have any experience with actually eating at any of the restaurants here, but I'll go through them just to give you a little. They have Eden, that's open from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's international fine dining, 3-course, 5-course, 8-course meals. They have wine pairings, and they have 17,000 bottles of wine on inventory. So plenty of options. That you should not go thirsty here, except if you want water. The Primrose, that is breakfast 6 to 11:30, and then dinner 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And it's Canadian-inspired menu, and then they have a children and group menus as well. So I think that's more of like the lower scale. If you're going to go to just get something quick, or it's not as as prim and proper, we'll say, as the other ones. Larkspur is 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. It's lounge in the main lobby, and it's lunch or light snacks. So this is like the small kind of bar they have, and then they have light snacks as well. It's not very big. There's a single bar that's probably got maybe 5 or 6 seats, and then a couple side seats, and then that's about it. So just realize it's not that big. There's a single TV in there as well. Divas is also a lounge. It's closed June, July, and August, so they open it back up obviously for the winter time. And then it's more like Hollywood themed. I didn't get in there because the doors are closed most of the time, and it must only open up in the afternoons, but I didn't get any. I only got the outside footage. So, and then there's the Rimrock Cafe, and this is 6:30 in the morning to 9 p.m. This is frog-friendly wild coffee is the type of coffee. It's like a coffee bar. They have like small snacks and pastries and sandwiches and things like that. But yeah, that's where everybody is in the morning getting their all kinds of crazy coffee. But they use frog-friendly wild coffee is the brand. And then in-room dining. So this is the only food I actually got at the hotel outside of like the conference food. And I got it the first night when I was here. So obviously I didn't eat all day when I was flying here, and I was starving. So in-room dining is 6:30 a.m. to midnight. And I had the grilled Cajun chicken sandwich. I had French fries with it. I had a piece of cheesecake. Obviously my eyes were way bigger than my stomach because I couldn't eat it all. And then I just had 2 local craft beers when I got here. So meanwhile, this was like really late at night. It was probably 10 p.m. for me, and I usually eat at 4 p.m. So it was all wrong. I don't know why I made these choices, but I did. But the food was excellent. The Cajun chicken sandwich was great. The bun was, not stale. Everything tasted very good. The fries were delicious. If you're a fry person, like my wife would have loved the fries. She loves good fries. The cheesecake was fine. It was a little too fruity for me. It had like a strawberry layer on top and then some other strawberries in it. I like really basic cheesesteak, but I just need something sweet. And then the local beer was really good. I'm more of a darker beer fan, and just after a long travel day, I just needed a beer. So I had one of those, and then I kept one in the fridge. So that's all the dining I've done. Like I said, I only have a little experience. The conference room food was excellent, and the room service was also excellent. So I would assume that, and I see people eating at the restaurants here all the time. So I'm assuming it's quite good. It's probably pretty expensive. My room service was actually a little bit pricey, as you would expect at a place like this, but I don't know the pricing for the regular menus. I'm sure you can find it online though. So then the last piece I have is the conference rooms, because I have some experience with that, because that's what I'm here for. They have 18,000 square feet of conference space. They have 13 different banquet rooms, personal conference service managers as well. And they have all the video, audio, visual you'll need. And then they have full menus, obviously, for breakfast, lunch, and dinners, or whatever you're doing times of the conference. No issues there. All of the audio, video worked fine. The people were on top of it. They had individual waters at the tables as well that you could, like pitchers of water that you could pour, so you didn't have to keep going back and forth, which was nice. And they had all kinds of other coffees and teas and stuff. And then the breakfast was like a buffet. So the conferences was good. The audio, visual was great, and no issues. They were on top of everything, so that worked out great. I think that's all I have for the Rimrock. So like I said, I'm still here. I'm here through tonight. And then I fly out tomorrow morning really early, so I will have a nice long day tomorrow. But if you have any questions, as always, leave them in the comments below, and I'll try to answer them. If you have any questions about the surrounding Banff area, specifically outside of the Rimrock as well, maybe I've done it or maybe I saw something I might be able to help with, but I think that's it. Uh, Gorgeous place, gorgeous views. I mean, you come to the Rimrock for the views. It literally sits on the side of a mountain, and I'm looking at the mountains right now, and they look fake. It's incredible. It's an incredible area. Banff is beautiful, low key, quiet. I'm sure it gets crazy here in the winter with all the snow and everything they get in the skiing, but September's a great time to visit. It's beautiful. The weather, can fluctuate a bit, but the sun's out, and yeah, it's a beautiful area. I would definitely come back here. So I think that's it, and I'll catch you on the next video. Thanks.